Q&A time. Would you invest in another property while still paying off your mortgage? Personally, I did do that where we were paying a mortgage as well as having an investment property. But realistically, it didn't work out well from personal experience because purely you're doing two things. One, you're paying off your mortgage, try to pay off your mortgage. At the same time, you've still got a few funds that you need to pay off your investment property as well. Because we had negatively gearing. If you don't know what negatively gearing is pretty much every month or every week, the property admin or the cost of holding the property is actually a lot more compared to whatever the rental is coming in. So for example, let's say your rental income is $300, but your administration cost of holding the property, it's actually at about $400 or so. So that means you're in a hole or about $100. So every week you have to have $100 per week go towards your investment property, and then your mortgage repayment is separate. For some people, that might be not a lot, $100 per week, but certain circumstances happen in our life where we went from dual income into a single income, where it was just me paying off all of these expenses and having to run the home as well. So that was putting a lot of pressure on myself. Look, it might work for some, but it didn't work out for me. If I have to do it all over again, I would have done paying off the mortgage first, just focus on that. Because of that reason, there was a lot of stress involved, tension, and friction in our family unit when we had a lot of debt to service. Because that would mean you also have to work for an extra job also in order to sustain this particular property. Now, we didn't just have one, we had like 4, 5 property, I think it's about 5 properties or so. Where at a certain point we were capped out from the lending criteria, let's say, and the repayment is a lot higher than the income. So for that reason, every single one of those property is actually costing us money. I don't know what the rough numbers was, but I know at a certain point I have to work 7 days per week, 12 hours days. And I did not see my family, I did not see my kids growing up, and I was in tears because, I missed out on the first steps, the first words, and that supposed to be joyful between us as a family unit. Now looking back, if I were to do it again, I would probably just focus on the paying of the mortgage, and then whatever extra excess of fund that you have at that particular time, you have the options to invest on, let's say, other avenue, not on property where you really do have to commit for a long term, where if you are negatively gearing, if the property costing you money, you have to commit on those repayment. Whereas if you have an ETFs, for example, a platform such as Vanguard, where you could actually just invest in whatever amount that you have left over, you're not putting a lot of strangled on your relationship, on your money, on your income. You're not putting that pressure on yourself. So each to their own. I mean, if you like that pressure, but by all means, do so. Personally, I would rather gone to the path where it's like I'm paying off a mortgage, and let's say you have a bonus, or it's like, hey, we didn't have a lot of bill and I have a lot of leftover. I would have just gone, okay, with this leftover money, if my emergency fund is topped up and there's nothing else that I need to do, great. With this money, whatever this leftover money, I can put it on an ETF. And in the ETF side, you can invest on the property. In fact, instead of just one single dwelling on property, you will be investing on real estate type of property portfolio, let's say. That way you have the best of the best, property managers that deals with them. And all you have to do, just looking at the portfolio, is it going up, is it going down? That's about it. that's what you do. And one of the product that I hold, I don't hold a lot of them, but I do have, I guess, the property side inside the Vanguard. So, but realizing coming from that alone, and yeah, had I known that, I would have done that. I guess my point of view is most people only know the two vehicle, I guess three vehicles. Well, that's when I started my journey, I only know the three vehicles, which is investing in real estate because it goes up in value, investing in business, which is opening up your own business, starting up, let's say, or investing into shares. But in the shares alone, there's a lot of different different branches. You can go day trading, you can do options, you can do commodities, you can do all of these different categories, let's say, in shares. Where I am, it's technically investing on shares, but on exchange traded fund, ETF format. So I did the day trading route at one stage, but that didn't work out to us. We did both. We had enough fund to buy investment property as well as enough fund to put on day trading. With the day trading, I feel like if you're good at it, you're good at it, but if you're not, you're not. You kind of know if you lost all of your, I guess, capital, you're definitely not good at day trading, because that's what happened to us. And then from there, realizing the property is like, hey, it's the way to go because the value of the property goes a lot more faster than the rental income. And mind you, we had to actually service this rental income. You know, if there's, for example, if there's wear and tear on the property, what if there's no tenant, you still have to pay a mortgage. What if it get burnt down and needs to get rebuilt, you still have to make the mortgage repayment. So all of those things, it still apply, and there's a lot of friction, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of moving parts with property. You have to deal with, say, for example, real estate agent, tenants, make sure all the statement and the banks, make sure all the statement is paid for and all the bills is paid for. Those little things could all adds up towards your profit. So instead of that, if I have to do it all over again, definitely just stick with the property, stick on one principal place of home, and whatever left over, if you want to, you can go pay off extra on your mortgage repayment. Or the other options is actually go on a different route, whereas investing on ETF, where there's no like commitment. Let's say, you know, if you want to put $200 only, this is all you can afford for that particular week, month, whatever period that you have, then that's it. And then you look at it in the next few months or so. If it goes up, great, you put more in. And if it goes down, well, it's up to you. You have the choice. You can buy some more where it's at a discount, or you taking it at a loss and liquidate. And then that's the only options that I know of. And number three is like, okay, if you need money right now, you can just sell a certain portion of it. Let's say you build it up to about $50,000 or so, and you only need about $5,000 for whatever activities that you need to do, then you can just sell a little portion of that. Property, you can't do that. You can't just go, hey, I want to just sell maybe about, I don't know, the garage, so I can just get the money out. The only way you can do that is actually go to the bank and maybe up stamp your loan. So if you up stamp your loan, that would mean your mortgage repayment is actually going to go higher. Do you really want to do that? So that means your repayment's going to go higher over two aspects. Either the repayment goes higher based on your terms at the moment, or if not, extend your terms. So that means you're going to be in a longer debt with them. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents based on my personal experience. Definitely just go on one property, principal place of home, pay that off as quickly as possible, or if not, do the double-edged sword and go on investing on ETFs instead of on investment property, because there's a lot more uncertainties on investment property. This is coming out from my own personal experience. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I will see you on the next video.